guys, and welcome back to another episode of Federico Talks Watches. Today, we're going to do something a little different. I'm going to give some of the biggest watch brands in the world unsolicited advice. Advice I would give to these watch brands that I think would make their business better. Did they ask for it? Absolutely not. And are they going to do it? Probably not. They probably won't even watch this, but fun little exercise nonetheless. Now, of course, before we get started, customary wristwatch check. Today I'm wearing, well, I can't show you. It's a special watch me and John, or John and I, designed for Del Rey Watch. I'm making a video about it tomorrow, but it just came in. I've been enjoying it. No close-up. I'm not telling you exactly what it is, but a video is going to come out tomorrow, but I will say I'm absolutely in love with this piece. Now, also before we get started, don't forget to check out delraywatch.com. We just got in a bunch of new watches in stock, including a Patek Philippe Calatrava travel time, box papers, and just fully serviced by Patek Philippe, and of course, the cheapest one in the nation, not for a serviced one, for one period with the box and papers. We got in the Grand Seiko Ryusendo US limited edition. Boy, does this have a beautiful dial. That texture, that color, it's absolutely splendid. And guess what? Least expensive one available. And of course, the Omega Speedmaster 57 reissue, the hot watch that came out just a few years ago now. Absolutely love it with that kind of vintage styling and the vintage style box. And did I mention cheapest one in the country? Well, now I did. All that and way more at delraywatch.com, the best place for a watch geek to buy a watch. Link in the description below. So anyway, guys, the advice, as I said, unsolicited, probably never going to happen, but these are some very basic bullet points that I would do for these brands. We're going to start with JLC. The first thing I would say is JLC, keep going with the reissues. They're doing really well. The Polaris was a hit. The Sector dial, when you made it a few years ago, was a hit. That's awesome. I would also say stop with the crazy price increasing. I know you guys are undervalued. I get it. But your customers are starting to resent the massive price increases, especially since a time-only reversal has gone up 40% lately. Stop that. If you do want to do something to improve, though, more marketing. You guys make a great product, you have great designs, you used to have awesome pricing, now it's just okay, but you never see a JLC advertisement anywhere. Now, I know advertising is just fluff, but Rolex, Richard Mille, those guys get customers, and there's a reason why. It's not because their watches are awesome, because, they're not in my opinion, but they get eyes on the product. You guys need to do a much better job at marketing. Grand Seiko. Okay, few easy fixes, because actually Grand Seiko I think is doing awesome. I've never seen a brand grow so quickly, and they genuinely make a great product, but they're not perfect. First thing I would say is Grand Seiko, develop a new chronograph movement. Something smaller, because the chronograph you currently make is the most hideous chronograph on the market. The dial layout is total garbage. I can't believe you guys are selling these well at all. So get rid of that monstrosity, make a new chronograph movement that fits in a more traditional looking watch. Also, the complaint everybody has about Grand Seiko, taper your bracelets. They're too clunky. Your watches are amazing. Your bracelets are mediocre. And last but not least, keep going. Keep going. You guys are doing a great job. 2 thumbs up. No one's perfect, but Grand Seiko, you're making home runs, and let's not change that. Audemars Piguet. Oh boy. Firstly, stop the superhero gimmicks. Just stop it. What are you? Your brand is already worn by douchebags around the world. Listen, I get it. They're very expensive. Commercially, they do very well for you guys because the markup is insane. But overall, let's not forget, you guys are Audemars Piguet. You're not Hublot. A little self-respect. Next, better boutique staff and experience. I mean, I haven't felt that much douchebaggery since of walking into an AP boutique since I was at like an Ed Hardy convention. I mean this, like, just the feeling of snobbiness that emanates from the place. I know you guys are changing your boutiques to make AP houses. Don't really know how that's gonna go, but I don't know. The AP boutiques, listen, some are better than others. Shout out to the guys in Boston. Great boutique. Totally get it. The one in New York, I mean, listen, I haven't seen someone look down at me like I was a peasant in a very, very long time since I walked into that boutique. But it's just the air surrounding the brand is so douchey. You guys got to do something about that. And then last but not least, I know you came out with the 1159. I'm not a fan, but that's just my opinion. But more dress watches. Royal Oak Offshore, get it, love it. Millenary was a failure, okay, but bring back the Jules Audemars. Do some more classic timepieces. I know it might not sell as well as a Royal Oak, but, you know, it'll give a little bit more diversity. Now when someone thinks dress watch, they think Calatrava. Why aren't they also thinking Jules Audemars? Patek makes a living on their dress watches, and yet you guys are totally untapped in that market, and I think you should do it. Omega. Well, this is an easy one. Omega, stop it with the limited editions. We don't care when your watchmaker's dog has a birthday. He doesn't need a whole new Speedmaster for that. You have too many things. You're confusing people. The Omega catalog is a headache. I get, you know, you make a unit, it sells, the numbers go up. I get it, but that's an unsustainable way to run a business. You know, take a few years of sales hits and, you know, maybe the numbers go down, but consolidate your collection. You'll thank me in the long run. Also, make a few well-priced high complications. You guys have in the past, but I don't know why there's no, like, Omega perpetual calendar right now. I know there's a tourbillon, but maybe a perpetual calendar would be cool in, I don't know, an Aquaterra maybe, or a perpetual calendar Speedmaster. You know, I know I'm telling you to make another watch, and I just told you to make less watches, but make something of substance, something that shows off your watchmaking muscle, and cut out all the fluff of the limited editions. I know it'll hurt the numbers in the short run, but in the long run, it should, you know, really solidify the collection, in my opinion. And of course, Rolex. I mean, listen, guys, I'm not going to say anything here nobody knows. Rolex, your ADs suck, and they play games. Once again, like AP, some are better than others, but some of your authorized dealers are total trash. I won't even mention the ones, even though there's one pretty local to me, it's totally garbage. I mean, your customers feel so unappreciated. I mean, what's the point of having a Rolex boutique in an airport if everything is exhibition only? Airports are transient. It's not like you can place an order and come back. I just don't understand that. So no more airport boutiques, and get rid of the douchebaggery and other boutiques, right? Also, produce more watches. I know they made a statement, Rolex made a statement, we can't increase production without building a new factory because we don't want quality to suffer. Rolex, your watches are quality, but let's not pretend you're making Fabergé eggs here. This is an assembly line watch, right? Nothing's handmade whatsoever. Just crank up the speed on the CNC machines. I believe you can make more watches, or maybe stop making some of the garbage no one buys, the Tridors and the 28 millimeter ladies Datejust, and put that production capacity towards pieces that can actually move. Because I can tell you, you know, I don't for a second believe they can't produce more right away, right? I think Rolex loves their current situation, but customers are quickly turning against them. They're sending customers to other brands, Breitling, Omega, even Patek for the higher end stuff. And you know what? It's just no one wants to feel that underappreciated. I'm not saying Rolex should be readily available. I get it. But you shouldn't be laughed out of a boutique just because you want an Oyster Perpetual. Rolex can fix this issue if they actually wanted to. But they don't want to, and I'm telling you, they should want to. Also, come out with one high complication. Once again, I know it's not going to be a sales hit, but in the Cellini line, come out with a perpetual calendar or a world time, something to flex the horological muscle, because right now you're sitting on your laurels. The last interesting watch that came out was the Sky Dweller. And you know what? Props for that. I'm not a fan of the Sky Dweller, but that was an interesting feat of watchmaking. You guys haven't innovated, for a company that touts innovation so much in the past, you haven't innovated shit recently. You haven't made a serious watch in a very long time. And even though it'll cost money and it probably won't sell amazingly, actually I do think it'll sell amazingly, but maybe it's easier to make money making Datejusts. Sometimes you just have to do something for the optics, and I think one really nice, high-end, complicated watch would do wonders for Rolex, especially as they're trying to go up market. Anyway, guys, that's it for today. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. It really does help. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any more content. And of course, I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.